See how long it takes.
Button, who's got the button?
There we go. All right. Oh, Heather, you are already in the chat, I see.
Oh. Yes.
Just hanging out.
She's just ready. All right, we're live. Hello, everyone. And anyone watching the playback, hi, welcome. I am so excited for this. As soon as I was done with this book, I was like, I cannot wait for this live.
Right. Same.
Cannot wait.
Well, I was immediately like in our little like text chat being like, oh my gosh, what did I just read? What just happened? What the heck?
Why was this the cliffhanger that we were left with?
I know. Oh my gosh.
It was fine until the epilogue, man. The epilogue's like, ugh.
Hello. We are waiting. Hopefully Meow Fader Megan will be here. We don't know. She checked in an hour before the live, but you know, ADHD is wild. You'll say you're going to be at a thing and then you just don't appear because you just didn't realize. So
yeah.
If she doesn't show, do I win the Battle of the Megans today?
Yes.
Because I
didn't know there was a battle, but yeah.
You can
didn't know either.
Your favorite Megan, whether she shows up or not. Let me just mention that real quick.
Wow, she's not even here and you're dragging her.
I mean, I'm messaging her. Not that she's answering me, but I'm trying.
It's fine. It's fine. We're going to go around and have y'all introduce yourselves and just let people know where they can find you. I'll have everyone tagged in the description right after the live. I haven't done it yet. I don't think I did it yet. I didn't. Okay. Go ahead, May.
Okay. I am May or Megan. My channel is Past Romance, and I am the reason that we've all read these books. So
yes, true.
This really feels like an AA meeting or something. That's what
I'm addicted to Peter Pan smut. It's fine.
I love Peter Pan smut.
It's okay. We all thank you for it.
Yes.
I'm Steph from the Novelty Corner. I did this intro yesterday. I read all sorts of things, so I can't even define myself anymore.
And you're our Australian friend.
I am an Australian friend.
Yep. She reads romance and sci-fi and children's books.
Like you literally did this yesterday. You should just be able to.
Very helpful.
It's Sunday here, mate. It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
I've never heard you just casually drop a mate before.
I haven't either. I was like, wow. I feel honored right now. The Aussie like came right out.
I love it.
Yes.
Oh,
see, I told you it happened. This is how tired I am.
I love that for us.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm Heather from Here Booktubes. I talk about romance, post rant videos, do discussions. I have a live next week that I need to get people for because everyone was like, I would love to, but I can't. So
that's fun.
Can I do that? But yeah. Sarcasm.
So hi, I'm Shay from Shay Geeks Out. I primarily read manga and romance-centered stories, though I do dabble in fantasy and literary fiction as well. And I do occasionally post discussion videos when I feel I have something relevant to share, like how you can help and like make better changes with the Barnes & Noble stuff.
Also, translated work you've been diving into.
I have been diving into more translated works, which I'm very, very excited about. It's been a lot of fun. Now that Ashley at Bookish Realm is going to do that, I might be like, hey, I want to read these too. Buddy, read with me.
Yeah.
I sent her an author from Panama today. So.
Oh, great. She'll love that.
Awesome.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
You're on my channel. I'm Izzy. If you're new here somehow, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you found this via search. Talk about romance, manga, all the goodies, all the fun stuff. I'm so pumped, y'all. I'm so pumped for this. So our first question, and chat, obviously chime in with your thoughts because I do want to hear them because I feel like there's a lot to discuss in this. I did like narrow us in on 8-ish questions that I feel like are going to spiral into various other topics.
I'm sure they will.
I want everyone's initial spoiler-free thought. And this is going to be full spoiler. I just feel like initial thoughts that are spoiler-free because I feel like that's going to lead to tangents if we get into spoilers, like of this book, of Their Vicious Darling. Because book 3, I think I at least know personally, I went in with different expectations than what we got to some extent as far as how it was going to wrap up. and where we were headed. Because I had not realized that we were getting a book 4 in the series. So that's my initial thoughts. Go ahead. You can go in order. You can jump around, whatever y'all want to do. Or fight. You can fight. That's fine. Let me go get
I don't
popcorn.
want to fight.
I don't want to fight either.
No.
Okay, so Heather, unless you want to fight somebody, and I think Heather's always with you.
Heather likes order. So you're good.
I'll fight
Yeah,
you
we'll
about
go-
other things, but let's go in order.
So walking into this, I feel like I knew that there was going to be a 4th book. It was kind of announced right before the arc came out. But I was really curious to see what happened because, you know, the end of book 2, you see Cherry and Wendy, and you don't know what's going to, or not Wendy, Winnie, and you don't know what's going to happen with Winnie. I was very curious to see how Nikki handled it.
Mm-hmm.
And it exceeded my expectations on how the whole book was going to happen. I feel like with all of the POVs that we got, because there were quite a few, I feel like they were all handled very well. And it left me wanting more from side characters that I didn't expect to want books from.
I can see that.
Yeah. I agree with that. I had heard that there was a 4th book before I read it, so I was kind of expecting something to happen, but I wasn't expecting so many side characters, and I loved the side characters. I may have almost liked them more than the main plot. But that speaks to more sort of the I suppose my interest in Peter Pan retellings and reimaginings, the characters that I'm drawn to. That is probably what I enjoyed the most. But I really liked it. Even the ending.
Even the ending.
Epilogue. Yep.
We all read the epilogue, right? We aren't in a group of people that skip epilogues because that's a thing. Okay, cool.
I cannot relate to those people. I'm so sorry. I do not understand that.
I mean, I am in team, like, if the epilogue is where the HEA is, I'm not happy. But I still have to read them.
For sure. But I love epilogues.
Same.
So
just had to be sure.
Okay, so I gave it 4 stars. I did enjoy it. I thought it was a lot heavier on the plot, which I don't necessarily think is her strength. I feel like if you get to the 3rd book, you're not really there for the plot. So then really leaning heavily into the plot is maybe not what people want at that point. But I did think that it was good. I didn't think that she had any issues with it. I agree with stuff that it's interesting because a lot of times it is a wide choose romance. A lot of times if you have multiple POVs, you only have the POVs that are part of the romantic relationship that the book is about. And that is not what her books are, or at least this series isn't. So you have like POVs from characters you don't really like that much, or are completely the villain, or are just like annoying you, but you get all of their perspectives, and it's interesting to see, especially their motivations. I feel like she's doing a pretty good job of not telling you everything, but also you get an idea of where people are coming from and why they're doing the things that they're doing, even if it's against the people that you're rooting for. And I don't know how much I'm going to like the 4th book. I feel like I will like it, but I don't know that I love the direction that we're going in. I also saw the announcement for the 4th book before I read, so I did know that. Up to that point, I thought that we were getting, a trilogy and we were going to be done. And she also said it was going to be about the Fae princes and in the fairy court. So I knew that we were like headed that direction because that was in her announcement. But I don't know about that. I think that there was not very much steam, but I still liked all of the characters a lot. I feel like maybe we didn't get quite as much of Winnie. But I liked it. I still like the 2nd book best, though.
The 2nd book is very good.
And see, I'm the person that actually has to differ from Heather. I loved that there was more plot in this one because that was something that I could sink my teeth into, so it didn't just feel like smut to get to an ending. So I liked that there was more plot in this one because it made the book have more momentum for me. So it wasn't just like, okay, little bit of plot, 2 chapters of smut, little bit of plot, 2 chapters of smut, kind of like the other books were. And I'm not saying that's a bad formula. It works for me sometimes. But I actually liked that this one had more to it. And I like that she's expanding her world a bit because I do think there's a lot more here to dissect and play with. When I heard about the 4th book, I totally thought it was going to be a spinoff. I thought this was still going to conclude. And then that was just going to be a book featuring those characters based in the same world. I did not realize it was a continuation.
After the happily ever after.
Yeah. So I thought it was just going to be like a spin-off of them.
I kind of had the same thought. Like I thought the Fairy Princess book
because that's been hinted at throughout. So I figured we would have to go there eventually, but I thought it would be a spin-off.
Well, and in the announcement, she also said it would be about the same characters.
Right. Yeah, which is why I thought it would be a spin-off. Because you could still like have them there cursorily and like in the background and have some smut going on and stuff. But like I did not expect it to be a true sequel. Once I read it, I learned that that was very incorrect thinking. But in general, I really loved the characters that we got to know more in this particular book. Like Steph, I really kind of liked them better than our main players. And I totally ship them together. And I need their throuple. I need that book.
We'll get there. That question's coming. Don't worry.
That's all I'm going to say now. That I'm not saying who, so I'm not spoiling anything. But I need it now. If you've read it, you know who I'm talking about. But I still gave this 5 stars. I think the series as a whole so far has been really solid for me. These books are compulsorily readable for me. I just enjoy every time I step into them. But I did like that this one had a little more plot that worked better for me than the more smut dominated one. I needed that in book 2 because Vane. Because Vane. Anyways, so having a little more plot in the 3rd book to kind of like introduce your new characters, you kind of needed more plot for them. So it worked really well for me.
Yeah. And Betty Jo agrees with us about some of the side character stuff. So I didn't see that coming either. Carrie too. And then also the multiple POVs. I think that's one of the strong suits with Nikki's books so far is like they're like popcorn books. Like I can just devour them in the best way. Like May, you're muted.
Sorry, I pulled up the YouTube video, so I muted myself so it wouldn't like blare Heather. And I wouldn't get yelled at.
You.
And then I forgot to unmute myself.
You're fine.
Gotcha.
But the thing I enjoy the most about these books, and I think that's why I enjoyed the first one so much and got especially Izzy here to read it, was they're just so short.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel you escape to this world for a short period of time and then you're like, oh my God, it's over.
Yeah. You're like, you like look up and you're done and you're like, how did I get here?
How did 4 hours or how did 3 hours go by? Like I
see, like I'm still the person who can read a 2,000-page book, 2,000-page Brandon Sanderson book, and be extremely happy. So, like, I can have it both ways. I love Mariana Zapata as well, who everybody thinks needs to be edited more, and I'm like, no, give me all that angst.
I kind of
give it all to me. I want to live in it, and I want to drown in it. Thank you.
No, I'm with you on that, Shay. I kind of enjoy how long Mariana Zapata books are when I'm in the mood.
But I do occasionally like a short novel, so I really enjoy these for that.
Especially when they're well like this, like where it's well done. It feels like for the most part, there's not a ton of like issues with the writing. It's not like reading one of those 80-page novellas that you're like, there's 5 typos every page.
Right, exactly.
She builds this world very quickly.
Yeah. And I want to circle back to talking about how much plot was in book 3. I really enjoyed how much world building and plot happened in this book specifically. I wasn't expecting it. I definitely expected more smut. I expected it to be more like book 2 and then book 4 to be more plot heavy just to wrap up plot holes and stuff that are kind of open right now. But it surprised me and I really enjoyed it. And normally I don't think I would have as much as I did.
I also think on that, like there were plot things that came up in this one that I wasn't expecting, to be honest, at all. But I think this is a fun one. And I want to know, which we've already talked about Vane a little, Who is your favorite character, and has that changed since book 1 or 2? Because mine has completely changed. I'll go last. So I'm curious if anyone else has the same favorite as me or not.
I think mine has changed. Mine was the twins.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of the reason mine changed is we didn't get a ton of the twins in this book, which is totally fine. I love Croc. I love him. I love everything about him. Like, I was not expecting it, and I still love Peter. Like, they're like this, but I loved him so much, and I'm so excited to see where he goes. And I kind of hope we get a spinoff, at least book, about him and where he goes.
Please,
I hope
Nikki
so.
St. Crow, if you ever watch this, write that for us, please.
I think it's coming.
I got an
think
email right before we started that
Yeah,
said Nikki
I'm
St. Crow
sure.
sent you a message on Patreon, and I wanted to message, like, it was just a generic one, but I wanted to be like, hey, here's what I need from you. I know you're super
If you're in her Patreon, it's not like if you're in her Patreon, it's not like she has to write what you want, but at the same time to be like, hey, I am dying, praying, hoping that we're getting a Croc book. Like, that's totally appropriate.
I think that he is the standout favorite, so I'm pretty. From where this ended, I think we have to get one.
Yeah,
We will be. We for
Steph?
sure are. There's no reason for
for
her to
the
give that up.
for the amount of page time and for the setup work that she did, there's no way we're not getting that, because he was my favorite too. Easy from the very first chapter when we met him. Like
I don't know that he's my favorite. He's one of my favorites. My favorites remain Peter Pan, Vane, Winnie, and now Croc is part of that group. They're the ones I really like. Everyone else I can kind of take or leave. They all have moments of annoyance for me.
So yeah, mine's definitely changed because I always like the darkest, broodiest ones to start. So Vane was like my diehard favorite, which is why I loved book 2 so much. But in this one, I am shocked. It's actually Hook.
no, I'd agree with you. He's
Wow.
my second favorite.
Watching Hook lose his crap with Rock in his bed fed my soul. Oh my God.
It's a
like,
good
like,
enemies
that's
to
tiny.
lovers.
Hook.
And the fact that he's denying his pining, like, I need it. Ugh. Give it to me, please.
No, I agree with you, because if you ask me who my second favorite is, it's Hook. But Hook's always been my favorite Peter Pan character, just for the potential of the character.
But that whole Hook Rock dynamic, throw a Wendy in there, I'm sold forever. Period. End of story. Give me that book. Give it to me.
I didn't expect that from you, Shay.
I know, right? Not
I
at
wasn't
all.
expecting that at all.
I love it.
It surprised me so much.
Did
And a
you
close
say that
second
Jude Law's
would
gonna
be
be
Rook, because that
in the new
dynamic
movie?
fed me through this whole book.
Did you all see Jude Law is going to be Hook in the new Peter Pan and Wendy movie?
He
I didn't
is.
even know there was a new Peter Pan and Wendy movie.
Yeah, it just got announced this
Okay.
weekend.
Okay.
And I'm
I
very
don't know
curious to
how
see
I
how he
feel
looks.
about that. I'm gonna have to ponder.
Let us devolve from the subject matter at hand. Does anybody see that Disenchanted is coming?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I
cannot
will be there.
Let's devolve just a little bit further for half a second and acknowledge that Sebastian Stan and what's the actor's name? I texted you.
Oh my God, Dan Hopper.
Hopper. They're going to be in a
Hopper.
Marvel movie together.
That's not his name, but that's his.
I don't know who that
They're
is.
bringing us the Thunderbolts. This was officially announced.
Yes.
I sent it to
It'll
Izzy.
be so
Let's send it
good.
today.
What is his name?
Oh
For
my
a
God.
show or for a movie?
It's
It's
gonna
a
be
movie. It's Hopper from Stranger Things. He's the Red Guardian in Black
I
Widow.
know his name,
Mhm.
David Harbour.
Oh,
Harper.
okay, yes,
David
I
Harbour.
know who you're talking
I was like,
about.
my brain, I'm like, Dan Hopper is his character, but what is his?
But it's
David
so
Harbour.
close
So-
to his real life.
I know.
So many
Oh, I'm very
actors.
excited.
I need
No,
that
that's gonna be
visual.
so good.
I know their face. So
And
that's
Florence Pugh is going to be in
And
it.
Florence Pugh is
Sebastian
that's-
Stan and Hopper. No, I'm done.
I want a Miss Flo shirt so bad. I found some on Etsy, and I'm just like, if now that the stuff with the Queen has happened, though, I'm like, if I wear this a month from now, is anybody even going to know my reference? Because like we
Probably
were
not.
having a moment, and then we kind of got squashed. So I'm like, wait and see if more drama happens before I buy a shirt.
So I am also team Rock now, but also still a big fan of Peter, and Winnie is still definitely in my top, and then also the twins. Like, and I love Vane too. Like, I have had a hard time.
I love the whole core group.
Like,
Don't get me
shifting
wrong. Like,
who I love
they're
more.
still great.
Because like in book 2,
lead
Vane was my
twins.
favorite.
I can't lie to you.
Oh, I
Okay.
like the twins. I think they're funny.
I
just like their
twins
dynamic.
are to kind of lighten things a little bit.
Yeah,
because
that's why I like them.
have
They're
just
like dumb
Peter and Vane is
himbos.
pretty heavy.
They're
I
just
think that's
So-
why I like them. I love
Yeah.
the himbo.
Himbos are fun.
I love me a good himbo every so often. I mean, like, my favorite character in a video game is a total himbo, and he's the whole reason why I played it.
I like
My
himbos too,
peoples.
but I think I need more conversation from my himbos than we get from the twins.
Yeah,
can see
especially
that.
in this book. They were very much, like, in the background of this
Yeah.
particular book.
Yeah.
So
I'll
it
be
was really easy to
curious.
kind of, like, write them off this time.
Yeah,
Heather,
they
I'll be
have to-
curious how you feel about the next one,
They
since
have
they
to
are
have
probably
more
going to have
page
this chapter.
I feel like they're going to be
Well,
very prevalent in the next
Yeah,
one.
they'll have a lot more page time in the next one.
I mean,
Go
I
ahead,
don't know how much
Megan.
more page time you can give in 230 pages, but
True.
Yeah. All right. I feel like the
Wait,
question of the
I have
hour.
something to say.
Yes.
Because Shay was saying earlier about how she can read a 2,000 page book and stuff, and like I agree. Like my Kristen Ashley books, give me the 500 plus pages. I do not freaking care. But what I do think is with this particular, like, first of all, Peter Pan retelling, don't care at all, right? That just is not a seller for me. But I think with this particular world, like the length that she has them is optimal. Like
I agree.
I feel like if you dig too far into it, you lose a lot of the shine off of it. And obviously, if you didn't have enough, then that
But at
would
the
be-
same time, I read book 1 and book 2 back to back exactly, like right
Right.
behind each other,
Mm.
and I did just fine. So if all of this
Yeah.
was contained in one book, I would be fine.
I would not. Because again, like I did 5-star book 2, right? And I did read them close together because it was for the live show. So I read them like within a couple days of each other. I don't remember if I read anything in between, but it was within a couple days. But I was even thinking as I was reading this book, I'm glad I didn't try to read all 3 of these in a row, which I probably would have if it had been out, because I would have probably been done.
I can see that though.
Okay.
Like I can see both sides of that coin for it, because like it's just a lot. I'm glad they're broken up because I personally prefer this kind of breakup in a story more, and for the pacing, because I just think it would be almost like too dramatic if it was all one book, if that makes sense. Like if it was
Yeah.
750 pages of this, I would just be like, get over it.
well,
I would be asking for
But
more
I
editing.
thrive on
Okay.
angst in the drama sometimes when I'm reading, so I think
Yeah.
that's why I'd be fine.
I'll say for me personally on that front, I like that they're broken up and that we have to wait, because every time we get a new one, at least for like 2 weeks, I read almost everything I can get my hands on. It kind of busts a slump for me. Because like, okay, I've sat down, I've read this book, I've not moved for 3 hours, book is done. What can I read now?
Yeah.
And then I go through and I read more. So I like that they're broken up. I don't know that I would like it if it was one big book. I
Okay.
think I like that there's that waiting game between, even though I get so mad when I finish and I have to wait. It makes me so mad.
I think for them to be one book, the structure would have to be different.
Yeah,
for the
that's
storytelling.
that's
It would be-
Like it's been
Like I said,
written
I
to
could
be
read it that
like a
way
serial.
and be
Yeah.
fine, but like having them broken up for like 95% of people is going to be the best way. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
she did it the best way she should have.
Yeah. It definitely benefits. All right. I feel like there's only one answer.
There's only one answer.
But-
It's got to be
But
him,
May
Cook,
demanded
and
this
Wendy,
question
period.
because of some thoughts she had. So, who do we think Rock's throuple is going to be? Do we like the idea of Rock in a throuple?
So in the beginning, when first started and the cherry stuff was going on, there was a short period of time where I was like, surely to God, this woman is not trying to convince me that Hook and Cherry are going to be in a relationship with Rock together, like be a throuple with Rock, because that's
No.
hers, and I
Barb,
was
no.
not this. And that takes a lot coming from me. So then we slowly got past that. And then it was, the Smee thought, and then you get the big Wendy reveal, right?
We knew about Wendy in book 2. We knew she was
Well,
alive in book 2.
But
we knew
we
she was
didn't know
alive. We didn't
that-
realize that she was in the other
their
world
relation.
yet.
And that she
Yes, we did know that in book 2.
and that she had a particular person's baby. We'll get to that discussion later.
I don't
So-
know that we knew about the. I
We
don't
didn't know
that
she
we
was
knew
in
about the
prison.
baby.
In
No,
book
we didn't know
2.
she was in prison. We knew she was left
Well,
there.
we
She was
knew
alive.
she was on the island that Peter Pan saved himself and left her. We knew that in book 2.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we
we did.
also
You're right.
knew, like, we knew that, but also they didn't know.
Mhm.
True.
And so reading it from their point of view, it was like this big, oh my God,
Mhm.
the person I love has been here this whole time and I've let them sit for
Mhm.
3 generations.
Mhm.
So that was the whole Wendy thing really had a very satisfying.
The
Well-
reveal for Rock like punched me in the
Yeah.
gut so hard.
So there was that.
I loved the reveal around her having been with Rock and Hook.
Yeah.
And I'm sad because we were, if you were on Nikki's
With Rock
Patreon,
and Hook and apparently Peter.
well, yeah. If you're on her Patreon though, she talked about this in the beginning chapters. Originally, Rock was hooking up with a prince and not a princess,
Yes. So the
and
original,
she switched it.
the original chapter that she posted, because if you're on her Patreon, she posts like snippets of the chapters.
Mhm.
And then at the bottom, it's like, these aren't edited. This may not be how it ends up in the book. But the Rock chapter was him with a man. So it was supposed to be 2 princes and a princess that he's hanging out with.
Mm-hmm.
And that got changed before the book got published because she had sensitivity readers and they were kind of like, hey, I don't like this, essentially.
There
And
was
I thought-
concerns for queer baiting since he doesn't hook up with a guy in the book, like a final person. I disagree. I think it would have been fine to
I think it would have
showcase
been
more of
fine
his
too.
bisexuality, but
But it literally all that changed was the sex of the gender of the person that he was hooking up with.
Mhm.
Everything was pretty much the same, other than it was a man instead of a woman.
mhm,
So I enjoyed the initial post
mhm.
that it was him with this, this guy, and you got to see this other side of it that I didn't know we were going to even see in these books. So I was fully prepared for more on that.
Mhm.
But I love the idea of Hook, Wendy, and Rock as a throuple. I love everything
It's
about
the only
this.
way it
needs
can
to
be.
Look,
It has to be. And it'll be interesting to see Rock and Hook get through their enemies to lovers situation, I feel like.
Hook is
There's
deep in denial.
Oh, yeah.
yes, Hook is extremely in denial.
He denial is not just a river in Egypt.
Like
right
he's
now.
talking about how handsome he looks in his bed and about his lips. Like the man is in
Mhm.
denial.
He's I love you, and I
And it
cannot
makes
love
me
you.
think that the 3 of them were hooking up before this. Like he and Wendy
Well,
and Rock
but
were all together before.
see, I don't think so, because the way that it read was Rock was very aware that Wendy was very good at playing everyone
them.
around her.
Mhm.
And I'm very deeply fascinated by her character because she
I'm
knew
interested to
exactly
get to know
how
Wendy,
to
especially knowing
maneuver
how
all of
Winnie
them.
was.
Yeah.
Like clearly the Darling Girls are sensual creatures, and I want to know more.
Well, because we also find out, right? I think it said, and I read this book the day the arc dropped, so it's been like 3 weeks.
Mhm.
But didn't it say like she hooked up with Hook to get back at Pan?
Yep.
That was the whole reason that they
Yep.
were sleeping together?
Mm-hmm.
But see, I didn't think she'd hooked up with Rock. I thought it was that they had a relationship, but that she hadn't been with him.
See, that part
At
I
that
don't
point.
remember. I just remember that she had been hooking up with Peter, and then to get back at him,
Yeah.
she was sleeping with Hook.
Yeah. I reread it yesterday. That's what I took away from it. Because I think she was playing chess with Croc. And they were like, it was this and he was the one who picked up that she knew how to interact with all
Get what she
and
wanted.
manipulate all of them.
Yep.
I agree.
That's what it was.
That Hook has ever been involved with Croc. I think that Hook and Croc's first real interaction was Croc taking his hand for touching Wendy, and Wendy did that on purpose.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that, Heather, at all.
Also, I missed a comment, but I don't. Oh, it's not showing up. It was hid. That's why. Okay, sorry. I went and looked on YouTube, and it hid one of the comments, and I was like, "Where is it?" Also, Shay, you're not alone. There's someone else that doesn't like unfinished series. I think I'm okay because I know she's going to finish the series also.
All right. I'm not worried about that.
All right. I feel like this is my favorite reveal of the whole thing. I had a moment when this happened and was stunned. Also, our other person joined us. Hello.
Hello, friend.
Hello.
So yeah, that kind of blew my freaking mind. I was like, what the ever-loving heck? Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
This is me. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I didn't expect it.
I didn't either.
Not even a little bit. Was not.
And that like Smee was involved.
Yeah.
Like
So,
just
I could go on a
not
whole
expected.
tangent about Smee,
Yeah,
but
we'll come back
I'll
to
save
Smee.
it for later.
So when I read the Bloodline reveal, I was actually where I'm at right now, which is obviously not my home. I had my Kindle set up right here in front of me. I had my phone in my lap. I read it, I gasped, and then my phone starts buzzing, and it's Izzy. And I was like, why are you calling me right now? I need to finish this. But we had a great conversation that did not revolve around the book. She wasn't reading it yet. And I don't remember what we talked about, but
I don't either.
I'm sure it was great.
I'm sure it was great.
Me
It's
and
very
you.
important. I just remember you looked at me and you're like, I just gasped out loud because of this
I
book.
did.
And I was like, I cannot wait.
I went, and I dropped the remote because I had the page turner in my hand. I dropped the remote, and my phone starts buzzing all at once. And I was like, what is happening?
I immediately texted these two in all caps. It's like, what? What? No, wait, what?
No, the Bloodline reveal is probably one of the best reveals I've read in a while. I really enjoyed it.
It was
Did
just an
anyone see it
unexpected
coming?
reveal. I figured we just weren't going to know.
I definitely didn't.
I did not.
No.
I didn't really care. So sad.
And I honestly, I was a tiny bit worried that it was Peter, but I'm really glad it wasn't.
Okay. On that
I
note,
was also
do
scared
really
about that.
I do like that all of these extra people are not interested in Winnie, our main character, which I feel like is a thing that often happens. But also, yeah, I kind of like that we have this whole different thing and they're related, but then these people are not, but then these people are, but it doesn't matter. You know, like Thane and Croc are related, but they're two different.
I know we're going to talk. We're going to talk more about what we think is going to happen in book 4. So I'll save my thoughts that I'm having till then.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Other Megan.
Hi.
Hi. Do you have any thoughts you want to add in before we keep moving forward?
No, I don't know. The reveal happened, and I was like, huh, and then I just kept reading. But I was definitely like, oh, please don't say there's some weird, gross gray area stuff happening right now. Please don't say that.
I trusted Nikki not to do us dirty like that.
Yeah.
I put
That's
a
fair.
lot of faith in this woman.
I know.
It makes me really
But she
nervous.
hasn't steered us wrong so far. So.
She hasn't,
No.
but I have trust issues.
Who doesn't? We all do. It's fine.
And especially on something like this. So I honestly really enjoyed that.
Okay. Sorry, I was going to read it. Let's talk some about how we felt about the reveal of Croc and Vane's homeland and their like home island situation and the shadows and all that fun stuff.
This is where I remember nothing about this.
One, I hated the royalty of their island. I can
Oh, yeah, they were
understand
so
why they
awful.
did not want to be on that island. Holt is an asshole, and I want to strangle him the entire book.
Yes.
Anytime he opened his mouth, it's like, why are you here? Why do you exist? Go away.
Yeah. I was like, ugh, I am not interested in the royal family of this island at all.
No, same.
Couldn't care less. Get
So
rid of
like
them.
when 2 of them died, I did not even feel bad.
Keep that book far away, Nikki. Don't ever make it. No one wants it. No one on this chat wants it.
No.
So it's fine. You don't need it.
Although I would accept like a road trip story going to all the different islands just so I can find out more about them.
Yes,
That'd be cool.
I would accept that.
That would be.
I
I
do
would take like a prequel of when Vane got his shadow.
Mhm.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
So here's my question. We all theorized on the last live about Vane's kind of like homeland situation, what was going on that island, what the abilities were. And part of the reveal here was obviously that Croc eats people in a weird anthropomorphized, like
Anthropomorphic.
whatever that word,
Shadowy
like
crocodile.
crocodile thing that's
Yes.
like kind of
Pull that out of your
see-through.
ass.
It,
Nowhere.
Anthropomorphic?
That was bizarre.
that's not.
but
No, I didn't. That's a word.
It's a word.
It's
Never heard it.
anthropomorphic
So
is a word.
casually, like, oh,
It's when-
this is
yeah.
a big word.
No, that's the word for it
No,
though.
it's the
It is the word.
I believe you. I just don't-
So I've read a book where they did that with dinosaur shifters.
Yep.
Called by Nita Bangs, and like it's an old. I don't even know if you can still get this book, but they had like this glowy form around them that was the dinosaur. So that's all I could envision for
Well, I've
Rock,
seen
which I feel like is inaccurate.
there was another book I read where like when they shifted, it was more like kind of a ghosty form above them.
Yeah.
I can't remember the series right now, but there's another series that does that. So that like that
But he-
didn't even like register or phase me. Like I'm just like, okay, that's how it is. Let's go.
Well, we were all
It's-
arguing on the last live about what it was, like what their abilities actually
I
were.
would like to point out that I was correct because I said it was its own thing, and you all were like vampires, shifters.
I wasn't on that live. so
I
can't
I was
remember.
not on that
disagree.
live show.
Because we were right, because it was a weird shifter situation.
He's
I
not a
didn't know what I
shifter.
said on the last one.
But
Yes,
he's-
he is though, because at
He's
a
really
certain
not,
time
though.
he.
It's really not because he can't like control it in any way.
Not
You
all
know,
shifters
like-
can control it though.
Right.
I've read books where they
but-
can't control it, so he like
Also,
he is kind of a shifter.
he
He's
is
possessed by the
kind
ghost of a
shifter,
black
but
hole.
everything about him does not apply to like the regular rules of shifter. Like he's out for like days afterwards and things like that. Like he's his own creature, even though technically he's shifting forms.
I mean, he's a shifter. It's still a shifter.
Sketchy, but okay.
He's
I don't
like
think
a
it's sketchy. I
hungry
think you're just trying to
hippo.
make it fit your prerogative here on what it needs to be.
I'm
And he was
just
so
saying,
cool.
is.
That's why he sleeps for days. It's like Thanksgiving for him.
there is no other shifter that's like as long as I drink blood, I don't shift, and I'm out for 5 days if I do, and I will eat everybody. Like that's just not.
You say
Regular
that like you
shifter
know
rule.
everyone in the world's folklore,
Listen.
though.
Listen.
So
I read
it's like a
lot of
blend of a
romances.
shifter
I
and a
feel like
vampire.
the
So we weren't
authority on the
totally
matter.
wrong.
So I'm
Can I
just
just
saying
say
it's
one-
a mix. Go, Steph. I'm
I-
sorry.
No, it's okay. Like I struggled to visualize things, and this was
Mhm.
one thing that I could actually picture. And I
Mhm.
loved that he was basically incorporeal, but was eating people
Mhm.
as a shadow. And like I find that really fascinating that that's what he was, because the whole time it was like hints of, okay, yeah, sort of pseudo vampire type character. But I thought it was awesome because I haven't quite read anything.
Like
Like
I say, he's
that.
a little bit of both. So I kind of like
He's a little bit of both.
I like
And
the
I want to
mash.
know more about I want to know more about the Bone Society.
Mhm,
The
I do too.
Monster
Yeah.
Mash. Yes. Give me more of the Bone Society.
Monster mash is happening.
And also why the shadow makes it easier for Vane to control his side.
That is something that I'm really curious about. It's like, why
Yeah.
does the death shadow of all things help him control this like
Because I would have thought that would have made it worse.
shifter side? You would think they would just play on each other and he would just go on
Yeah.
a rampage all the time. So
Yeah.
I'm really interested to learn more about that.
Agreed. All right. Here we go. Did you expect the ending with the reincarnated Tink?
I expected Tinkerbell to show up again.
I was
I didn't
surprised
know.
as soon as we saw the throne.
As soon as we got the wolf, I wondered who else was coming back.
So yeah, I'm kind of with Steph on that. Like, yes and no, I expected it.
I expected to see
Hey.
Wendy before we saw Tink.
They kept saying it gives and it
Olivia.
takes.
Mhm.
And like
And
Peter
we-
didn't go near the water, but Winnie could like float in it and do whatever she wanted to do, and it wasn't a big deal. So I was like, something's gonna happen. So like what's coming? I didn't know that it was gonna be Tink, but I definitely expected it to be something that was gonna cause issues in book 4.
Yeah,
I
as
guess
soon
we
as
could piece it together more because book 4 is the Fae Princes.
yeah.
But I didn't think that far ahead. I was just kind of excited to have the book in my possession.
My brain was like, there are only 3. It's a trilogy, so that's why I was like, wait, what's happening? Why is nothing getting tied to
Actually,
what
that's
happened?
No
Yeah,
resolutions
that's interesting.
for Megan.
I like.
Nothing.
I kind of like that the lagoon. It's almost it exacts a price for.
I
things.
love that the lagoon kind of has its own mind.
Yeah.
That just makes it so much more interesting to me because it's like, I love that it gives and it takes. I love that you have to almost sacrifice something to get something else, and it may not come out how you want.
I'm curious as to what is going to be the things that were sacrificed for Tink to come back.
Because clearly, this young queen has been sacrificing quite a bit to the lagoon to get Tink.
Yeah.
I mean, she threw her last thing that meant anything to her, the throne, in there. And it's like,
And also,
I'm desperate, help.
And also the throne has magic because Croc was commenting that the people who made it, like it's in, and that the queen probably didn't even know what was in that throne.
What if it unleashes more? It's going to unleash some weird monsters. That's my guess.
Well, I have a feeling the
only hope.
lagoon has changed Tink, and it's going to be bad.
Yeah. Maybe she's a zombie.
Zombie Tink.
So, especially listening to you guys talk about it, and maybe this is just me and the fact that the D23 Marvel panel is going on right now. It kind of feels like, you know, if you've seen Loki, like the end, and they go to like Kang the Emperor, whatever his name is, and like they've got the time stones and stuff. It almost feels like the lagoon is like that guy, right? You can control all of this, and it's like, let's see how much chaos we can cause.
Well, the magic of the island's got to come from somewhere, and it's got to be contained somewhere, and so that would make sense because
it would make
people
sense
are either
that,
drawn
like,
or
the
repelled
heart of the
from
lagoon is where the magic is contained.
Yeah,
that makes so much sense to me.
Yeah, and if Pan is aware of that, then that explains why he doesn't go
like,
anywhere near
I
it.
don't go near here. No, I'm not getting in there. I honestly thought this for a minute too.
That's kind of a thought that I had.
Heather, do you have any thoughts?
On Tink, not
Yeah.
really. She's not going to win.
I have no idea.
Dramatic thing with her. I could have done without it. So
I'm excited for what kind of chaos she'll bring.
Yeah, I'm curious.
It's not going to be good.
No,
because I thought it was a trilogy. My brain was like, oh, the sister's going to realize that she was wrong, and she's going to be like, yes, let me reconcile with my brothers. And then I was like, wait, what's happening? So yeah, that's how that went with me, because I don't read things.
When it was first starting, I was half expecting her to drag it to her brothers and say, I'm done, here you go. Here's your new cord. But then when she got to the lagoon, I'm like, oh, this is different.
This question's coming. Don't worry. It's literally the next question. So guesses on where book 4 is headed. My vote's on Zombie Tink in some capacity. The lagoon has like poisoned her. And then it's going to be Hook chasing Rock and then finding Wendy, if that's not its own book.
I just want James and Rock to fuck, you know? Like, I need that. That's all I need.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier.
I need the threesome.
So I think we're going to get 2 different stories going on. I think we're going to have the Hook, Wendy, Rock storyline, and then we're going to have the everybody else storyline. Tink is obviously going to be the main like battle situation we're having here. Her sons are going to have to take the throne from her, which probably means they're going to have to kill their own mother at this point, or they're going to find a way to make her surrender her throne to them, but it doesn't seem likely, considering she's been sitting there for years with all these hard feelings about Pan, and the fact that her sons are now allied with Pan, that's not going to go over well, and it's just going to be really, really interesting. The fact that the title is The Fae Princess, like,
part of me wonders how she can do both those storylines in the same book, because I don't think they, like, this one worked really well because all the characters came together, whereas
she won't.
To have because to have the Fae Princess and to have the Hook, like, I think we'll still get aspects of that, but I don't think it would work as well.
I don't think they're gonna be fully fleshed out. The primary story obviously is going to be
I
regarding the
don't think
princess.
so at
But I
all.
think we're going to get glimpses
Yeah, I think we'll
of
get
the other
glimpses, but I don't think-
storyline because that's
Yeah.
going to be the primary plot of a book 5.
I completely disagree with you, people. I am 100% sure, 100%, I will put money on this. Hook and Croc and Wendy will be their own separate book. We're not going to see them at all in this next book because they have left the island. They are going on their own adventure, which we will get in their own book. This is going to be completely focused on Winnie and Pan and Bane and the princes fighting the Fae Court and the outcome of that. I think that Cherry, I think that all those people are gone from the storyline, and we will see them eventually in their own book, and they're not in the fourth
Carrie,
You don't
I'm
think
going to riot because that woman should have died.
Do you don't think Smee will be in book 4?
Smee will,
I think
because
she
Smee
might be.
stayed on the island.
Yes, we're
Yeah.
staying on the
Cherry,
island.
Okay.
And even Croc to an
Croc
extent,
stayed on
because
the
he's still
island
on the
too,
island.
but Croc is going to go after Hook. The entire reason
Yeah.
why Hook left him was to get a head start on him,
Mhm.
to get
Yeah.
to Wendy first. But Croc is
I have
going.
a feeling Smee and Tink are going to team up.
I do think that it's a possibility that Croc and Bane have a little bit more reconciliation, so he
Mhm.
might be in book 4. But I think everyone that left the island, I don't think we see them at all.
I don't disagree because she makes these so short. Like these are compact stories. Like
Yeah, I don't think
he
there's room
packs
for
so
those.
much in. There's not really
Yeah.
room to showcase much more than like maybe 1 or 2 chapters with Croc, or like him leaving, or him and Bane talking, and then him
And that's what
leaving.
I'm saying. Like, we'll
Yeah.
get the start of that storyline,
Yeah.
but the primary one's going to be everybody.
Yeah.
Do you think Cherry's gonna get a redemption of any kind?
No,
Yeah,
that
not-
woman needs to die.
Annoying.
I hate her.
think
She's so
gonna
annoying.
get. I think she's gonna get a redemption, and I don't want her to. I would have slapped. You should
The woman
have.
needs to be bitch slapped and murdered. Period. End
Yeah.
of story. I'm
Real
done. now.
mad that Vane did not like chase her down and murder her.
Mhm.
'Cause
I
he
don't-
gave-
I
you
think
could
Tried.
I just wanted Rock to swallow her when he was swallowing everybody else. That's all I wanted.
He's not going to because
But
he
Rock
wants-
wants to bang Hook, and you can't really do that when you murder Hook's
He's
sister.
going to
Yeah,
have a
you
road,
can't.
but he's not going to.
So, do you think Rock's just going to take? Well, no. I don't know what they're going to do. I just don't know who Cherry's love interest could even be if we tried to redeem her or anything. Like, I don't really know how you can
I
redeem
don't-
her.
I don't understand the purpose of her character up to this point if they
Same.
don't redeem her. Because if they were gonna kill her, they would have.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Why give
I don't-
us a viewpoint and why have her the whole time be like, oh, I want to like Winnie, but I just wish that somebody loved me. Like, just the entire thing doesn't make sense unless she does something with it.
Just yeet her off the cliff back to the
Listen,
mortal
I'm
realm.
with you.
Her and Holt deserved each other. Now I'm really done.
I did like how Holt died. That was satisfying.
It was very satisfying.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. That's our last question. Do we have any tangents we want to go on before we rank all the books, or do we want to rank the books and then go on our tangents? If we have anything left.
I thought that
I have more.
splitting the oh my god, the shadow
dark
for
shadow.
Neverland was interesting. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought that was
Splitting
a really
the shadow
good
was
idea.
really interesting.
I knew
Oh,
that
that-
was going to happen.
I kind of called that
You know,
too.
we
I wasn't
can't be you,
necessarily
Heather.
surprised by that. But
I
like,
didn't know that.
I
Was
thought
even
it worked
something
well.
to be able to do. You know.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that being something they could do.
the second I saw two shadows in there with like when they went to open Pan's box, I'm like, I bet you they can share the death shadow.
I thought it was a smart way to make the Death Shadow more easier to handle. More to handle. Easier to handle, not more to handle.
I don't think, circling back to Cherry and her redemption, I don't think that there is any redemption that Nikki can write that I will accept for
I
her.
think the only thing I can think of is something about Cherry saving the lost boys in a like fatal way.
Mm-hmm.
So like she's been set up to die.
If she sacrifices herself, maybe, just because she would have sacrificed herself.
That would probably be the only way I would forgive her, is if she sacrificed
No.
herself.
Well, I wouldn't even have to forgive her. It would just be the end of it.
But like, I can't with her. Like, she's been nothing but a whiny, spoiled
She's
brat the
so
entire
annoying.
time.
I just
I
want
can't.
Vane to love me. Why won't Vane love me? Shut up.
And sacrificing herself for them, like, that's already something that she would do. And I am not here for the martyr complex, like, ever.
Oh no.
So even like literally, if she died for Vane, I would be like, so fucking.
No, I don't
mad.
think it would
Like,
be for Vane.
No,
I
it'd
think
be
it would
like
have
for
to be
Winnie.
for Winnie or for Peter.
Yeah.
And it would, but it would be for Vane. She would do it
That or
herself
or-
for Vane. That would be the only
or-
way.
it would be for Rock. She would
What
say
if she's the reason
Right.
they get
that
together
her
and get over
brother
it?
got true love. She would say Rock.
No,
If that
she's-
happened, maybe.
Drown her in the lagoon. Let's just see what happens.
She falls through the portal into the mortal realm and somehow saves Winnie's mom. For what? Who knows? For what? Who knows?
All right,
That's
interesting.
almost worse.
Does I don't know, does Wendy's prison need a replacement?
Maybe.
Steph, I like your thinking
Like
here. I
Tracy?
think they swap her in for Wendy.
they're not going to do that. James
No, they're
already
not.
swapped Cherry for Smee years ago, and now has to give her a home like he promised. I don't know. It's just annoying. Like, just
Well, it depends
She's
on
the
your
worst.
definition of home.
As I still think that, and again, Heather, I'm with you. I don't like the idea of a martyr complex for her, especially. I do think that if she tries to get a redemption, it's going to be, I'm sacrificing myself for Winnie because Vane loves Winnie, so she's doing it for Vane regardless.
But even that would just annoy the ever living fuck out of me. Like, I'm so sorry. This man wants to kill you. He does not like you. He did not choose you over anybody. And you're like, let me die for you. So you
I
can
would
live.
just pick me now.
She's
That's
not
what I'm saying.
smart.
She would do it like for Rock so that her brother got true love.
If she dies
has
for them, I will just be more annoyed with her. Just know
Like,
that.
I'm just saying she doesn't have a brain cell. She doesn't have two brain cells to rub together. Like, girl's fighting for third. We know this.
She's got two brain cells fighting for third.
She is.
Not.
Hook
She's
won't
like, he
swap her.
loves me. He
I'm telling
chases
you
me.
right now, he's not going to swap her again.
But he has swapped her before, so I would not put
And
it
he
above
said
him
that
to
he
do it
won't.
again.
Okay. Which island was Wendy dropped off on? I can't remember.
Everland.
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 Okay. So it's a prison.
Mhm.
But what kind of prison is it?
No, the island's not a prison. The island is super dangerous though because it gives you pleasure and you can't like get out of it. But
I
then
thought
after-
Pleasureland
No, that
was.
wasn't that
No,
Pleasureland?
that's
Oh,
Pleasure
yeah,
Land.
Yeah, that's
Completely
Pleasure
But
different
then there
land.
is a prison on the island, and she's
No,
in
the
the
prison's on
the
Everland.
entire
Yeah,
the
the prison
entire
is on
island
Everland.
is not
Yeah.
a prison.
Because my question is how has she been living on that island? Because if we're talking about Hook swapping her and promising Cherry a home, like if there is a home to swap, that's where that could come in.
That's true.
I think the only way that works is if you're giving her to a future love interest.
I still think that it's going to come down to Vane having to do something. with
Even
Cherry.
so, I don't think that Hook trades
I think
her.
she's
Because you have to have Hook be likable, and him willing to trade his sister.
But Pan
multiple
has
times
banned
is
her from
it's not
being
enough.
on Neverland ever again.
Ban Hook.
Yeah,
Ban
Then-
Hook.
Yeah.
Hook
Hook
and
and
Cherry.
Cherry.
Both
If
have
it
been
did,
banned
ban
from
both of them.
Neverland.
It would.
So
would
she will
solve
never
the
see Vane
problem.
again unless he leaves Neverland.
yeah, which is why I don't think it'll.
Which is
anyway.
why I don't think it will directly involve Vane.
No.
No, it's gonna be. I'm just
Because-
curious to see where she goes with this character that we all want to.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Like,
why is
literally,
I've
Cherry?
never seen
It's
such a
already
disagreement
like-
about a character we want to die.
The second she threw Winnie in that closet, I was like, this woman needs to die.
Oh, I hated her in
I
book
was
one.
done.
The
And then the whole thing, like this whole book, it was just like she's hiding, she's hiding, she's hiding. Oh, she got
Okay,
caught.
here's my thing, and this might be me and my need to be important, but I hate characters. I hate characters that pine after a man that does not want them. I cannot stand it. I'm like, move on with your life.
Amen.
I don't care if you're alone, but be happy. Like, don't do it. So it's literally the most annoying thing you can do to me.
Especially since she put herself in this position by stowing away on her brother's ship.
Which arguably she was
It's like
trying to leave an abusive household, so that's understandable.
Yeah.
But then Hook swapped her. But then also, like, I don't know. Everything about her annoys me. I can't help you.
She's terrible. No,
She
I
plays
think
the
it's funny.
victim,
We're
that's it.
disagreeing this much about a character we all want to gone.
And
But
we,
it's funny
we just
because I
disagree
equally
on
hate
how we
me
want her
just
gone.
as much. Because me knows everything. Kept it all to herself all these years. Like, what the ever loving heck? Why?
See, I like Smee, and the reason
I
why
like Smee.
is Smee
I don't like her.
is extremely intelligent. Again, she's playing her own game. And part of that is obviously intelligence gathering, which makes her an interesting character to me. And I would like to see her get
Right,
her
but
own
if she was
life.
truly loyal to Hook, why wasn't she telling Hook? Like,
Because
I
she
don't
was
think
doing the best thing for Hook, who would literally throw his life away and end up in the prison right next to
That's
him.
why.
Because
Yeah.
he
So-
was
and-
not qualified to actually do anything about it.
It also makes her invaluable because she has the information. They can't get rid of her because then they lose something.
Exactly. I like Smee because I do like the information gathering type characters. I always think it's interesting when they drop the knowledge they have. But yeah, I think Hook, like, she couldn't tell Hook. He would literally be like, cool, let's throw everything in the trash and we're going to get on this boat and I'm going to go fuck everything up real bad for myself and get trapped on this island.
Hook
and
is
she's
the
not gonna
bottom.
help her.
Hook is
He
bad
should
as
not be in charge.
he's
He
bad at
needs
strategy,
someone
man.
in charge of him.
I don't
this is
like
why
how
he
he-
needs Rock. Rock will
I-
be his
I do,
strategy. It'll be
yes.
fine. They'll
I
work
do love that
great
he's like,
together.
I'm gonna kill you to Rock as he's like staring longingly at his lips, and I'm like, bro.
You know, my favorite part when he was like his shirtless torso, which I probably want to put a knife in. That's why I'm focused
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
That's
The
my favorite
stabby,
part.
Totally
stabby
not
murder
checking.
feelings, but the lust, like, I'm dying
The
for it.
best. The best.
It's good.
Totally not checking him out. I'm just looking for the right spot for my knife.
It's good.
Not saving him. All right. Let's rank them. We're going to go around in order for your ranking of the 3 books. Favorite to, or you can, whatever order you want to do. Maddie, you can pick if we're going least favorite to favorite or what.
I'm going to do favorite to least favorite.
Okay.
I'm going 3, 1, 2.
Favorite 3, 2, 1.
I've never heard so many wrong opinions.
Heather.
2, 1, 3.
Okay.
I'm 3, 2, 1.
I'm also 2, 1, 3.
Yeah.
3 and 2 are very tied for me, and then 1 for different reasons. This
Okay.
like 3. The
Yeah,
problem is I
both
really
different.
liked Croc, and I really loved getting that POV. But 2, we have my baby Vane. So
Croc was the only thing worth reading in book 3. Betty Jonah's
2, 1,
worth
3.
that.
See, you've got people that agree with you. Like I said, I
weird
think it's a
that
very
brother
close
and I are
tie.
on the same side. Honestly, I don't know how to handle this.
I don't know. Savor it. Mark it in your calendar because it'll never happen again.
Right? Everyone
Congratulations
time
on being
stamp
right.
this
Here.
momentous occasion.
Steph and I are the same. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm just gonna sit
I'm very content with my decision.
Same.
Cool. I'm happy with it. Like I said, I'm just like,
And I'm not saying one's bad. I've given all of these 5 stars.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very
oh
clear
yeah,
from
no,
the beginning.
this is in no way saying one's bad. It's just which is your
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, just the Croc stuff was like so good. And I don't think I've read a book that did Croc yet, and I think that made it even better. Listen, chat's on y'all's side, so
My issue is that I don't like Vane that much.
I can see that. It's
He's
not your
just
type of character.
He's not my type of character. He makes me, I don't want to say uncomfortable, but I can't take him.
You wouldn't
I-
date him in real life.
I
so
hate
And
sorry.
I-
no, I hate you. I don't want you looking. Okay, then I won't.
And see, I'm the same.
I liked him much more. I liked him much more in book 2. I wasn't a fan of him in this book so much.
See, I liked him best in 2 as well. Because I felt like in book 1 he was too broody, but I like the broody guys. And then in book 3 he kind of went back to that when his brother showed up. So like Vane in book 2 is my favorite version of Vane. I will be straight up about that.
And I think it depends. Like if you ask me to rank based on particular characters in the story, I would re-rank these books in different ways.
Oh, same.
In terms of their story.
Oh, yeah.
In terms
I'm just
of
talking, we got to do overall because
this one had
it
too
gets
many
too
annoying people. Like book 3 just had so many annoying people. So many.
You're not.
You don't like seeing annoying royals get killed
the
violently.
sister did not get her what for. Like the twin sister is still like, wah, I'm queen of the castle. Wah, it's not enough for me. Wah.
My question is, did she survive Tink coming back?
We don't know yet.
Yeah,
we don't know yet.
Good point.
And
so the question is,
But
did she
it's like,
sacrifice
also,
herself to the
she
leader?
was
Did she
literally
sacrifice
like
herself?
Like literally, there's a thing where the twins are like, "You're not happy. You don't want this. Like, we're here to help you." And then she's like, "I want to be miserable."
This
Like,
is what
again,
father wanted
With
for
the
me.
martyr complex, this is what Dad wanted, but it's not what you wanted. Why?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Go on with your life.
2 brain cells. 2 brain cells. Rubbing together. Barely starting.
Hey, how can you be so meh? She's just very meh character.
FYI, the next book is in December. And I would say that Nikki sticks pretty hard to when she gives estimates. I just looked on Patreon. And she said that, where is it?
I knew she was shooting for end of the year, but
It's for December, but it depends on when she writes it. So I would say December, January for when we get this one.
I will say she has given a February 2023 special edition release for it.
So it has to be
by
done probably in
December,
December.
we should have all 3 of these in the special gold foil edition.
Yeah. And then she did also say that there is no plan right now for a Wendy Darling prequel.
Trash. Garbage.
Yeah, but that's a prequel. You're not going to get a Wendy Darling prequel. You're going to get
I don't want a prequel.
I don't want a Wendy Darling prequel.
And I want to know why. Because
But
obviously,
see, when we get the story of the throuple, we'll get flashbacks. So we'll get a little bit of that information that we need when we do the throuple.
that may satisfy me then. But for now, I know nothing about her other than Winnie seems to be very similar, but also different. Like Winnie knows how to use her body. We learned that in book 1, kind of right off the bat.
Yeah.
It feels like Wendy also knew that, but they grew up in such different time periods that Wendy's version was almost more manipulative.
Wendy seems more conniving than Winnie.
Right.
Yeah.
Winnie was doing it not even from a survival standpoint. She's like, I enjoy this, so I'm going to have sex with whoever I want to, which is totally fantastic. But then Wendy was like, oh, Pan screwed me over, so I'm just going to go over here and fuck Hook. You know? So I would be interested to see how we got there. Like, what did Peter do?
I don't care about prequels.
No, I don't either. She answered some questions and I saw that, and it's just something I thought, I was like, that was something good to answer. I don't really want a prequel of her time in Neverland, but I guess some people do. I would rather
I don't really want a
now
prequel.
story.
I want the throuple story with a few.
Yeah,
flashbacks
that's
to
what I
fill
would
in the
rather.
gaps.
I just need Hook and Rock. That's it.
That's got to be a spinoff. We're assuming. I mean,
Hook, Rock, and
It has to
Wendy,
be.
the perfect throuple.
Fingers crossed.
I hope so. We'll know more soon, I'm sure, too. Because the book's been out like not even a month.
Yeah, it's been out what, week and a half, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Enough.
2 weeks.
9 days came out on the 1st.
And yeah.
Came out on the 1st.
So almost 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited that we'll be back maybe in December or January to talk about this 4th one. We'll see if Heather hates it.
I don't hate it. I'm
Thank
just-
you.
You seem like you really do.
You hate the idea of where it's going.
No, I just disagree with all of you on everything. But besides that, I don't actually hate the book. I just liked different things.
Well, look, we needed something to disagree on, Heather.
That's why Heather's here. She's always here to be our
That's the best
disagreement.
part. The best
She
part
likes to
was
be
we all
contrary.
agree, but we
But
all
also-
disagreed on it.
But
I don't
also,
like to be
Cherry is
contrary.
useless.
I
so-
just am disagree. Like I won't argue a point that I don't stand behind, just for the
I
sake
know.
of being devil's advocate. But
No,
I do
that's why we appreciate you.
I
You're
think-
not
I
just
think-
doing it on purpose.
I think it's because I do like the extremely dark, toxic, over the top characters, and I'm
Mhm.
here for the vibes and the fucking. I'm not really here for the plot.
Fair enough.
As again, like I don't think that she did a bad job with the plot, but that's not why I'm reading this series. And also, like all the annoying characters.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't-
I mean, I very much wanted way more sex in this book than we got.
We got
This
what?
was the
Yeah.
least amount of
Three
sex out of all
scenes?
three.
Yeah. It was not enough. Like, I'm not going to tell you that I think it was enough sex or
Yeah, we
No,
got
there should have been
wasn't.
1 to 2 more scenes. I agree.
one in
Oh.
the treehouse, one in the woods, and one in the air. Right? That was it.
Yeah.
Something like
Mhm.
that, yeah.
And the one
Genuinely,
in the woods and the one in the air were like next to each other. They were.
there were
tiny.
too many Cherry POV chapters. There didn't need to be that many.
Mhm.
That's true.
Like,
There
I'm
were
like,
two in the-
cool. We just
Because
keep.
the Cherry POV.
Yeah, I
chapter
was gonna say, were there
didn't
two in
add
there?
anything.
Mm.
We already knew
Yeah.
everything that we got from her.
Yeah, like all of her POVs were just like, oh, I need to hide. Oh,
Oh,
no,
I'm
they're going to
scared.
find out. And I'm
Oh,
like,
I'm packing.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to go back to my
Yeah.
brother. Meh, meh, meh.
Mhm.
Like, no shit, Sherlock. You tried to kill the person they love. They're not going to be thrilled. And also, just that. Oh, I'm glad we got back on this. Just that whiny. I didn't mean to. Bitch, you locked her in a room with the shadow, hoping the shadow would kill her. Don't
yeah, so I
even.
didn't mean for this to happen because I wanted her to die.
Her to die.
Like, no,
That's
you
my
want something
favorite.
worse to happen.
And the fact that she admitted that to Vane and she's still alive, like,
She
But she's
admitted
still
to
alive
being
because
the most
Smee tried to kill
confused.
Vane. They were like, how dare you try to kill Cherry, Vane? Let me murder you instead. It's like, no. He's actually kind of right here. Like, retribution. She tried to kill a person, so he tried to kill her. Why you gotta be like that? Then freaking Hook, we had a deal. Yeah, the deal did not include your sister killing people because she's jealous.
Because she can't take social cues that someone isn't interested in you.
No. It's not even that. She'll tell you Vane doesn't care about her, but she can change his mind because she's different and she's not like other girls.
I feel like it's a weird thing, and I think part of it might be the genders of the people, right? Because if she was the guy and Vane was the girl, I feel like there would be more ick for a lot of people. But for me, there is that same level of ick because it's like, just because you think he's attractive doesn't mean that he owes you anything. Like, it weirds me out. And also, I just lose like all sympathy or relatability or like any of the things. I'm just like, no.
And-
Like,
and
she's
it's
just
funny
like,
because I
after-
read a volume of manga where there was a woman chasing the man, like, so she thought for like 5 years, but he's now in a relationship with somebody else, and she's realizing that she lost, and she legit goes to try to stab her and ends up stabbing him
But she's just like, he'll
because
change his
two brain
mind
cells.
because he had sex with me. And I'm like, do you know how many years it took of you nagging at him before he's like, oh my God, fine.
I
it
just
wasn't even like, oh my god.
see.
fuck.
I'm like you, Heather. Like, it gives me the ick no matter what gender it is, because I
Yeah.
do not like when
Right.
people relentlessly pursue someone who has indicated repeatedly they are not interested.
Exactly.
There was more evidence to Bash having like any interest in her than Vane.
See,
So like at
and
least he tried to make her feel good sometimes.
I had
Right?
zero,
Why did that happen?
I do not like Vane, so I don't
You're
get
so wrong.
the need to
Yeah, I like Vane.
him like this. Oh my god, he's going to change his mind. How dare he like this new girl? You annoy him. You annoy
And
him.
yeah,
He's
exactly.
never liked
And
you.
He's never
there-
liked me. Let that be
There is no bigger turnoff than someone like being annoyed by you. Like, okay, bestie, I'm not like we're not doing anything. Like I might say hi to you in the hallway, but
I don't even want to do
I
that.
cannot fathom. I can't fathom just like being like, please love me, and they're annoyed by me. My pride cannot take it. Maybe that's
Cherry-
wonderful, but I can't do it.
Cherry is the worst kind of pick-me girl. Like, the worst kind of pick-me girl.
Notice me, senpai. It's the worst trope.
Just if you just looked at me for longer than 2 minutes.
If it wasn't
You
for
know what?
Winnie, I would have him. No, because you didn't have him. You never did.
It's not like she legit stole him from her. That would be a little bit different for me. But like, no, he was never interested.
Never had him. I don't understand this obsession she has with needing him. It blows my mind.
Like, get over yourself, Cherry. Please.
Don't
are a grown adult. Act like it.
That's just it. You're a grown-ass woman. Like, calm yourself down. You're fine. Find somebody else. There's plenty of other people to fuck on the island.
I don't disagree with this either. She definitely doesn't know how to pick a partner.
Yeah.
And she was interested in Vane because he was unattached.
Listen, as
and I
someone
think
who-
He
in
wasn't
real
even
life-
just unattached. He's detached. He was detached from like every human except for Pan.
he's
And
the
even that was
emotionally
loose at best.
unavailable, and we run.
Like, we have Vane the emotionally stunted, and then Cherry the pick-me girl, and it's just not gonna happen.
And we close
Cherry
the door
is-
on Cherry forever because I'm
Cherry's Gretchen Wieners. Done. Next.
Let her get hit by a bus.
Yeah.
No, that's Regina George. Regina George was hit by a bus.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Gretchen Wieners kept trying to make fetch happen. It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
He's not gonna love you. It's not gonna happen.
There's
Stop
nothing
trying to make
you
it
can
happen.
do. Stop making Hallmark movies. It's over. You're done.
I don't care that your dad invented toaster strudel. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Any other thoughts that are not Cherry related that you feel like we didn't cover before we wrap this thing up? Because I feel like we're just going to keep ranting about the same thing.
Oh, do you think that something's gonna happen with the Crocs missing watch? Like, do you think that was like an actual thing that mattered, or is it just like a, well, we don't know when I'm going to turn into this weird, the hungry hippo monster. We'll see what happens.
I think it was part of his boat society thing, so I do think it matters.
I do, in fact, imagine him like a very hazy, ghostly, hungry hippo, where like you just see it go like, ow, 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 like a Batman almost, just like gulping down people.
I bet the Fae Queen, not Tink, the other one, has the watch.
Terry?
If someone's gonna turn up with
Tilly.
it, that's her.
Tilly, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I care not about the bratty little sister.
Yeah,
There's
I don't
just
care
so-
for her either.
There's just so many annoying people. Like, Hook was also kind of annoying, but the tension between him and Rock is the only thing redeeming him.
Hooked is annoying in a
Hook-
fancy gentleman way.
I could tell where
Hook was
Cherry
annoying.
gets her annoying.
Every
because
time he
Hook is
said
super
bad
weird.
form, I'm like, yes, we're leaning into this. I'm thriving. But then again,
He's
I like
just a
Hook
character
better.
that's born to be annoying, though. Like, I feel like Hook
Yeah.
has to be somewhat obnoxious.
That's fair.
If he wasn't like pretentious and like overly gentlemanly, he would not be Hook.
That's fair.
But yeah, I'm
Everyone's
excited
annoying.
that we're gonna get more in the world, even if it's only like one more book in this series. I do believe we're gonna get a book following Hook and Wendy and Rock. I do think we're gonna get that. Because if not, we'll all be very, very sad and we shall riot.
My brain is like going through all of the characters, and I'm now just like, the only not annoying people are the twins and Rock. Everyone else is kind of annoying in different ways.
Heather's face.
Heather is like,
Like-
we no longer are friends on this
Hannah's
agreement.
Pan is a drama queen. So is Vane. They're both dramatic. Winnie doesn't listen to anybody, even when their advice is actually good.
Why
Cherry
would she
is-
though? She's been betrayed her whole life.
Cherry is Gretchen Wieners. Tink also needs to get over herself. Tilly hates her life and is still like, but I will continue down this path of awfulness. Like, the Hook is pretentious and annoying as well. That is where Cherry gets it. Smee tried to kill Vane for no reason. They're all annoying. I still like them. They're just all annoying.
You
Except
okay over
for
there,
Cherry, I don't
Heather?
like Cherry,
Wow.
but, like,
Heather's ready to go off.
I came in late and I'm just spitting hard truths, okay?
You're not though. You're just.
You already got called
Enough.
not the favorite
That's
Megan
enough.
tonight, so
No, you
Oh,
know,
I
you know,
messaged her. I told you
Never
guys.
the favorite Megan. This is why Heather's been trying to send me a book for a month and it's still in her house. I'm not the favorite Megan.
Wow. No, the reason why it's still in my house is because there are multiple steps involved. One of those steps involves getting packing tape from my mom. The next one involves wrapping up and taking it to the post office and talking to people. I don't go to the post office. I don't have to.
Heather,
go to the
I can
post
solve your
office.
problems for you right now. Next time you go to the grocery store, put it in your car. Buy packing tape at the grocery store.
y'all,
Go
Go
on
straight
your
to the
way
post office.
Buying
home.
packing tape. I'm already spending money on postage. I'm getting my packing tape for free. Thank you.
no, stop. First of all, there's a website that you can use to ship things from. All you need is a little scale in your house.
Listen,
Much
I
easier.
don't have a
You can
scale.
also schedule a pickup for a package. It's very
No.
easy. Then you don't have to leave your house. That's what I do.
You can't though, because I live in a
Yes,
very
you
small
can.
town. Very small town.
You probably
Guaranteed.
still can.
USPS does this though.
They do
Like-
schedule pickups for items.
If I had to print the postage, I would still have to go somewhere else. Like it.
You don't have a
Well,
Wait,
printer
have
in
you
your house.
checked that it's not
Almost.
available?
No, because I'm just going to go by the post office because I have to drive right by there every time, but I don't have to stop. See, these are multiple steps.
Packing tape.
Multiple
So
steps.
next time you drive past it, you stop.
Who wants to ship
I
in
would
$1
have
to
have
mail
the package
Heather packing
with
tape
me.
from
I would have
Amazon?
had to have already done it.
I'm gonna literally just mail Heather one of my spare things of packing tape.
Heather, I'm ordering you packing.
The thing is,
I
packing
live
tape is not
my
expensive.
mother. All I have to do is
You can
walk
buy it
out
at
and
the
get it.
post
But
office when you
listen,
go to drop it off for a couple of dollars. Come on.
No, I will be.
Then just
doing
leave it in
that
your car.
at some
And then you
point,
just
but
have it all the
these things
time.
have to line up, and they have not lined up. So I'm glad we won that tangent. Let's go back to Megan being wrong about this book. Thoughts.
Road trip.
Number one.
Okay.
Okay, number one, in this book, Winnie is being consumed by the dark shadow, right? What advice was she even not listening to? Nobody gave her advice in this book. That wasn't even a thing that happened. That was just a complete non-starter. That didn't even exist on page. Like, she was ignoring advice because there was no advice being given. Second of all, again, consumed by the dark shadow. She is out of it. Girl does not know what is happening around her. And anytime we are interacting with her, she's either like, oh, I don't feel so good, or she's actively killing people because she's the dark shadow at the time. So, like, again, like, how can she be annoying? She's not even on page. Like, actual Winnie, not even on page. Dark shadow Winnie, on page. And then, thirdly, Peter Pan. First of all, this is like the least annoying Peter Pan I've read in my entire life because he doesn't act like an annoying, sniveling little child, but whatever. So that he's not annoying. And also he has like the shadow that he's trying to like bond with again, and he's like all weird and stuff, and then he went in the lagoon and something's definitely going to happen. And I don't think that it's related to Tink because Tink is related to her daughter and whatever, but I think that we're going to realize that there's more stuff that he knows that we're going to find out in book 4. And then Vane, not annoying at all. Literally, the man is just like, yes, I will give the dark shadow back. And what do? They like stab him, even though he was right, like completely right. The man was actually doing something, and like everyone else who was just like, I don't know. Winnie's acting weird, Cherry's acting weird, but I mean, it's probably fine. Like, what is there to worry about? Nothing. Let's make cloudberry pancakes. No. And then also,
That's their default for everybody's happiness is cloudberry pancakes.
so
I'm leaving now.
annoying. Who freaking cares about? First of all, I can go my entire life without eating pancakes. I understand that is not a popular opinion, but it is fact. So this is nothing for me. This little cloudberry pancake scenario, like weird. And also, Winnie is just like a waif. They like don't feed her. She came to them malnourished, and they're just like, it's fine, eat some cum. That doesn't do anything. I don't know what's wrong with you people. You have to actually feed and water your pets. You can't just do this.
You just called her a pet?
You need to. You can't just be like, let's burn 3,000 calories with the fuck fest, but not take care of you. The fact that she was even able to stay awake long enough for like anything makes no sense. She should be running on negative energy. Would she
And
like
took her
two
to a proper meal in
cloudberries?
town. It's fine.
And
Yeah, someone
then
else had to feed her.
she did eat at the end. She did eat that one meal, and she was starving. It was like, oh, this is the best food I've ever had because I'm so hungry. Also, the tomato syrup thing. Was
Tomato
funny because-
syrup is the grossest way to say ketchup.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, that was weird.
Honestly, when you translate ketchup into other languages, it's pretty similar. So that wasn't too far
Oh
off.
yeah, it makes sense, but also it just turns you off. You're like, yeah, maybe not.
Not me.
All right, I have done my annoy Heather deed for the day. I needed to fill my quota.
You filled your quota.
I filled my quota.
Okay. Any small final thoughts before we wrap this up?
I'm excited for the next live show.
I am too. I'm excited to see how right or wrong we all are again.
This is why
Thank
I don't
you.
make predictions.
Thank you to all of you who convinced me to read it like a month and a half ago.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.
You're welcome,
This
Steph.
is good work.
So fun.
Thank you for joining us, Steph. Especially because I know it's early for you, and this is a lot of it.
This is a lot of chaos for you very early on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
It's
That's
okay.
a
It's nearly
used to it.
lunchtime. We're good.
I was
I'll
gonna
eat the
say
food.
it's 11:30 over there. Pipe down, people. She's fine. She's fine.
Also,
She's woken up.
Well, we have to make sure our pets are fed, so I just
Yeah,
know
Steph and I have
it's early
been
for her,
doing-
so.
Steph and I have been
Yes.
doing live shows together for like over 2 years. She is used to like morning chaos.
Yeah. All right. Everyone is linked in the description box. I did do that earlier. So be sure to follow them. And yeah, we'll be back for the 4th book whenever that comes out. Probably same timeline, like 9 to 10 days after it releases, just so everybody has time. And I will make sure I post on stories or somewhere if we hear about if book 4 is the end. Like
The
if she
weirdest
cares.
Christmas live show.
Oh my god, that would be so fun.
We'll all have these like Christmassy backgrounds and we'll be like talking about this dark Peter Pan romance.
You're gonna have me like in my car with my phone hiding from my family, just being like, okay, guy.
If it's around Christmas, we'll all wear onesies. It's fine.
Yes.
I will not be wearing onesie. It'll be too hot. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
you don't have not you, Steph. You're excluded.
you can wear
You're
like
in your tank and
You
your
can wear like a
we
short
will be in onesies,
sleeve
though.
and shorts onesie. I had one. It was like
I'll
a shorts
wear
onesie.
my koala Santa dress.
There we
Ooh,
go.
there you go.
That's adorable.
That's
I
so
approve.
cute.
I love everything about this.
That's amazing.
It's perfect.
While talking about this book. Oh
See,
my
I
god.
thought that onesies were ugly.
It's perfect.
Yes.
I love it.
All right. I'm gonna end the broadcast. Thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate it.